Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Lights, Camera,
Conversation.
Today we are going to be focused on Maddie's favourite film, Madagascar, and we'll probably end up having a bit of a deep dive into other DreamWorks animations from when I kind of started, late 90s I think, Prince of Egypt around there was the first time. So yes, as we said, Madagascar. So Maddie, in the office we hear a lot that you really love Madagascar.
Yes, I do.
Well, let's tell the audience why.
It's just a very funny film, and I always watch it. I've watched it a couple times a year, so I watch it on my birthday for sure, and then I also watch it when I'm feeling a bit down because it always cheers me up. And yeah, it's just I like the first one and the second one, Escape to Africa. They're both really, really good. Yeah.
So how do you watch it? Is it on the Blu-ray, DVD? Do you have it on your phone streaming?
It's normally just on Netflix.
Oh, Netflix, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I just watch it on Netflix.
do you just bring up a random scene to watch, like when you're washing up or whatever?
No, I don't do that. I have to watch the whole thing if I'm watching it, because otherwise, you don't get the full effect, really.
I do a similar thing, but it's with the Simpsons. Obviously, they're much shorter, like 23 minutes. You can easily just put on an episode whilst you're washing up. Anyway, obviously, it's always been a dream to have a mini TV, and obviously on your phone, you could
prop it up.
You could watch it right now if you wanted.
I could be watching it right now while we're doing this podcast.
Yes.
It could be on my phone right now.
So do you remember when you first watched Madagascar? Was it a cinema? Was it TV?
I think it must have been... I definitely watched the third one in the cinema because I remember going. I'm not sure about the first one. Yeah, it must have just been on TV. It must have had it on like DVD. We definitely have it on DVD at home, I think.
But was it straight away? Did you think, oh, I really love this, I want to watch this again?
Yeah, I must have watched it with my sister, and we just we have loads of jokes about it, and we just think it's so funny. It's just such a good film, and it's still funny now. I'm an adult now, and it's still hilarious.
Do you have any Madagascar posters and merchandise or clothing?
No, I don't. No. Have you? Have you got Simpsons merchandise and clothing?
You're right, I don't, but I need some. There's a hint for birthdays and Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
So, Madagascar was, obviously, DreamWorks Animation made a lot more before. So they made, I think it's Shrek films, was it 2001? Mm-hmm. What do you think of the Shrek films?
Yeah, I like the Shrek films, although the first one is definitely the best, and I think it goes downhill from there. I think they bring in a bit too many characters. There's too many characters to keep track of. They're not all developed as well as they are in the first one, I think.
Yeah, definitely good. I remember the first one being really, really good. I've seen that lots of times. Yeah, Donkey's by far my favourite character.
Yeah, I think Donkey's I like the dragon though, to be fair. Is the dragon in the first film or the second one?
Probably in the first. Yeah, quite early on.
That must be when he rescues her. That's in the first film, isn't it? So, yeah, it must be. I like the dragon and the donkey. I like their relationship. Well,
Shrek is all about, to me, it's all about these other characters around him. Shrek himself is not a very nice, funny character, is it?
No, that's a good film. Aren't they? They're making another one, aren't they? Or is there another one coming up?
Yes, slight spoiler. It's at the end of the latest Puss in Boots.
Oh, right, yeah.
They're on a boat, and you see an island in the distance, and it's far, far away, and it's its own.
What did you think of Puss in Boots?
Well, yeah. Speaking of Puss in Boots, was it The Last Wish, Final Wish, whatever it was called, the one that came out recently? Yeah, that's probably one of the best things to come out of Shrek for me. It's this film. He absolutely loved it. But sort of family, so all different ages. Everyone really enjoyed it. Got something different from it. One of the things that really stood out for me is the style of the animation it varied, whether it was action or just kind of conversation, general stuff. And they could use the same technique as Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse that you used, where animation instead of a movement per frame, they did it on twos, where they did 2 frames a second. Right. So the style of when you see action going on, it's very different to it, and it makes it seem more hand-drawn, more artistic, more concept-like, rather than trying to make it look like photorealistic, which a lot of animations kind of did for quite a while, didn't they? Like Pixar trying to make things look real.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't need to, does it?
No. Well, I've only seen the first Puss in Boots one. I watched that recently, and I thought, it's a kid's, again, it's, it's for kids, but it has a lot of like adult themes in it. Like it starts with Puss in Boots waking up from a one night stand. And
What?
that's how it starts. And
No.
I was shook when I saw that. I was like, how is this a kid's film? Like kids wouldn't understand the reference, but like as an adult watching that, I thought this is not appropriate. And there's so much stuff in that. Like it's all about his relationship with like these girls that he meets like once, and then he finds like
Wow.
another cat that he falls in love with, and yeah, I'm like, this is crazy.
When was that one? Was that
Must have
is
been
it
like
10 years old or something?
Yeah, but I only watched it. They put it on Netflix recently, so that's why I watched it. But yeah, I was shook when I saw that. I was thinking, if I had kids, I wouldn't let them watch this.
Yeah, the first Puss in Boots was 2011. It was released, so yeah.
Yeah, it must be 2011. Yeah.
That does sound. I don't remember seeing any of that one. And there's a Netflix series, isn't there as well?
Yeah, I've not seen the series. I don't think.
Ah, right.
Just the film.
Just flicking through my phone here, trying some other DreamWorks classics. Over the Hedge.
I think I watched it in school once, but I can't really remember it.
Oh yeah, I think you'll see it plenty of times. Yeah, Bruce Willis is great as the raccoon. What's his name?
I can't remember.
And it's some great music. Ben Folds does all the music.
Right.
Rocking the Suburbs. That's always in my head.
And you're gonna give us a rendition?
No, but we'll get Byron in he can. Flushed Away.
Yes, that's such a good film. I've watched that too many times. That's a good film.
Wasn't that with Aardman? Because they tried to make it look like little plasticine characters, but it was
Oh right.
3D animation.
Yeah. Did you know that the guy, what's the main guy called? The rat.
Character.
Yeah,
What
the
actor?
character.
Ratty? Don't know.
Is he called Roddy? He's based on Matty Healy, who was the lead singer for 1975. I found that out recently. I think that's true.
That's really random. B movie?
Yeah, that's a bit of a strange movie, isn't it? Someone falls in love with a bee, but you know.
I've not seen it.
Oh,
Is it Jerry Seinfeld as a voiceover? Doesn't he? Is that it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Weir's random. What came after that? In 2008, it was Kung Fu Panda.
I don't think I've seen that actually.
Yeah, it's Jack Black as a...
Right. No, I've not seen that one.
Yeah, that's a bit of a meh. Monsters vs. Aliens, 2009.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
No, kind of passed it by. The next one that released in 2010, DreamWorks. It's really good, and I think they get better each one, as How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah, that's obviously a really good one. Yeah. Byron just said he's not seen that, by the way. I can't believe he's not seen that film.
Oh my God.
That must be that's like quite a big franchise, really.
Yeah.
That film, that's very popular. Yeah, I like those films. I think they have like nice meaning in them as well.
Yeah, great music, can't remember. Did you see Megamind 2010?
No, I've not seen
I think
that.
that's...
But I know what
Brad
the character
Pitt's in it,
looks
yeah.
like.
Again, not very memorable. Rise of the Guardians, that's one of my favourite. That is a proper Easter film. Well, I was watched that at Easter.
An Easter film?
Yeah, because it's set at Easter.
Oh, right.
It's got Easter Bunny, and it's also got Santa,
Oh, right.
Sandman,
Is it not
Jack
then a
Frost.
Christmas film as well if it's got Santa in it?
a Tooth Fairy. No, yeah. Well, no, it's set at Easter because, yeah, the main bad character called Pitch, he kind of steals a lot of the eggs. It's very, very good. I love that one. The Croods. Have you seen that?
No, I don't think so.
What else? More recent, I'm trying to remember. Croods.
Well, the Penguins movie.
Penguins of Madagascar, it's called, yeah.
Yeah, Penguins. That's a good film. I watched that the other day, actually. I think that was on Netflix. I love that film.
No, not seen it. Also, there's a few more here coming from the last few recent years that have had quite a few, made quite a lot of money. So that's just Trolls and the Boss Baby series.
Boss Baby. I've not seen either of those.
Not Trolls, no, to say. Yes, Trolls World Tour.
No, I'm not seeing that.
Boss Baby, the bad guys. I don't know if they came out last year.
I don't know. I've not seen that.
All right. Obviously, DreamWorks made a lot of these TV series and shorts and specials, and there's plenty of like Shrek Christmas episodes and things like that.
Yeah, so King Julian has his own TV show which is on Netflix. There's a lot of episodes, a lot. Like I don't think I finished it. But that's quite funny, and it's just kind of the lives of the lemurs and King Julian being a bit of a terrible king, controlling everyone, and the lemurs all have like uprisings and things, so it's quite funny. Definitely, that one is more of a kid show, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of these things are like very animal based as well. Speak of that, what about just animation in general? Did you always love with Disney? What
Yeah.
animated things? Really old school ones or 90s ones? The real old ones, yeah, like Sleeping Beauty, Snow White.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all of those. When you watch them back now, you realise how old they really are. Like, the animation in it and like, the sound and everything, you really, like, you're like, oh my God. But when I was younger, I was like, you wouldn't notice that it was any different. Like, you think when you watch it now, it will be the same. And I think they have changed it on Blu-ray and changed the colours and things. So I saw something on that the other day. But, yeah, like, we've got, like, the original videotapes at home, and they look... like the quality is so bad.
Yes, I remember having a VHS of, oh God, what's it called? Sword in the Stone. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's quite an old one.
Yeah.
I always rewatched that. Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
I've not seen that.
That's a real random one as well. Yeah. I remember going to cinema to see, I think, was it Little Mermaid?
Oh yeah.
Lion King, long time ago.
Have you seen the new Little Mermaid?
No, I don't really like watching these live action remakes.
No, oh really? I watched Pinocchio. That was terrible. I don't know if you watched that one, but the new Pinocchio, I don't think it was that good actually. I thought it was quite bad.
I think Disney maybe knew that because they put it straight to Disney Plus, no cinema.
Right, yeah. I'm surprised it got released at all. It really it's not nowhere near as good as the old one. Nowhere near.
Aren't they making a live action remake of Moana with the same?
Already?
Yeah, with the Dwayne Johnson.
A few years ago,
Dwayne Johnson's playing himself. Can't remember her name. The girl who's Moana, she's being Moana.
Really?
Yeah, they're like making it now or next year, and it'll be out in a couple of years.
That's surprising because I swear Moana only came out a few years ago anyway. So that's funny that they're just doing a remake like already.
Yeah, don't mess with the old classics.
Oh, I know. And the music from Moana is good as well.
As I always tell everyone, a big fan of Simpsons. Do you ever watch much Simpsons?
The first time I watched it, I was at a friend's house when I was in primary school, and it was like the film. It was one of the films. Right. But I'd not seen it before that because we don't really watch TV that much when we were younger. Yeah. Well, we probably wouldn't have been allowed to watch The Simpsons anyway when I was that old. But I watched it at a friend's house, and then I've seen some of it like more recently. Yeah.
Because I remember having a VHS and it had 2 episodes on it. I just rewatched those 2 episodes over and over for many years. God. And it was from season 1, it was Bart the General and There's No Disgrace Like Home. It's crazy, isn't it? When you got I think there's 12 episodes in the first series, putting 2 on a VHS.
Yeah.
That's like 45 minutes. Yeah. You could fit quite a few on there.
Yeah.
And now on Disney Plus, you've got 700 odd on there.
Is there 700 episodes? And they're still making...
Yeah, they're up to series 34 or 35 now. Oh my God. But anything after 9 or 10 just drops off the other.
Yeah, it's not good.
There's the odd one that's good. Because I only rewatch basically season 3 to 9. Yeah. Over and over. Right. And it's the odd one that is really good. I'll look on the IMDb or whatever, and if it's over like a 7.5, and I give it a watch. Now, that was quite good, but that's only a couple every few seasons, where series like 4, 5, 6, every episode is a hit.
What I like about The Simpsons is that it's written by like scientists and mathematicians and things, so it's all very like meticulous, and it's all just written really like in a clever way, and they've also managed to predict a lot of things that have happened in real life, which I think is crazy. Like, I see all these TikToks being like, this exact thing happened, like even the Titanic voyage to the submarine, that was literally predicted in The Simpsons. And like presidents and like just things that happen in like politics and things like that, it's all been predicted because it's written by like clever people. Yeah, that is really random. And what the chances? I know, like how could they've literally predicted so much stuff? It's crazy. Yeah, very good. Anything you want to ask me about animation? Because a lot of the questions have been directed towards you before we wrap up. Is Simpsons your favourite animated show? I'd say yes, definitely. If I had to pick one thing to watch over and over again and weren't allowed to watch anything else, it'd definitely be. Yeah. Yeah. What else? Simpsons. Who's your favourite character in The Simpsons? I don't know, there's quite a few. There's like the top 5, like Mr. Burns is probably one of his funniest. Homer, in the series I've been talking about, he's
some sort of like from early on up to 9, it's all very kind of family based and the kind of what the difference between right and wrong and doing the morally right thing. Where from series 10, they just made Homer almost just really crazy and not a very nice person.
Right.
So there's quite a shift in and all the episodes, like, for example, like Bart sells his soul. He sells his friend Milhouse gives him $5 and he writes his soul on a bit.
Right.
And he doesn't believe it, but then things can happen throughout his day and he starts to believe that he does have a soul. And he's trying to do the right thing. So that is sort of morals about that, life where from now on it's just do complete crazy stuff and it doesn't mean anything. You don't really learn anything from it.
Yeah. What I don't get about these shows, or what I do get, is that the characters, this is the same as like really any animated show like Arthur or anything like that. They stay the same age throughout the whole thing. Like they don't grow up. Like Bart Simpson is the same age.
Yeah, there's no consequences. It resets at the end of the episode.
And I suppose that's how it works. But like, it's obviously it's different when you have actors like in a sitcom like Friends. Obviously, like it resets each episode, but the characters are still like aging.
They age, yeah.
Whereas like it doesn't do that in animation at all.
You do notice if you watch from Simpsons like from 20 years ago, their voices do sound quite different, and this lady plays Marge. She sounds really different, like struggling to speak almost.
Really?
Yeah, and so they can't.
Well, she's got
going.
quite a hard like character, really.
Yeah, doing that 35 years.
Doing her voice, yeah. Like that must hurt your throat quite a lot.
But Simpsons do some really good episodes where they'll flash forward into the future and show one flashback, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now and again, just to show what.
But I suppose that's why they're kind of running out of ideas to do, because characters have been the same age for like all these years. So now they're like, well, what can we
Bart's been 10 for 34 years.
What can they do now? Like they're still in school, like they're not going to uni or anything. There's nothing to kind of progress.
But then technology and stuff changes around them, like 90s stuff. They'll just have a landline phone in the kitchen. Well, now the kids will have mobile phones and you'll see all this other stuff.
Right.
So things around them.
That's
evolve,
interesting, but they don't grow up.
That's it,
yeah. And they're wearing the same pair of shorts the whole way through as well.
Yeah.
The same T-shirt, same orange T-shirt.
And there's a episode from the last few series where it's about real life crime podcast series, like obviously back 90s stuff podcast didn't exist. So it's all about that. So they kind of do takes on what things are happening in real world now.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
I'm going to go and watch an episode now on Evelyn.
Put one on Netflix. Or what is it, on Disney?
Disney Plus, yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, that was I think, remembering back a few years ago, just start of like lockdown and stuff, that Disney Plus started in the UK like that same month. And we had to wait like almost like 6 months before America had it.
Yeah.
And suddenly there was so much to watch, all this stuff. And and I think that since that day, I've kind of watched a few Simpsons a week at least.
Really?
Which I'm thankful for. So.
But what's the episode you know all the words to?
Boy Scouts in the Hood.
Boy Scouts in the Hood.
Give me 500 Krusty Burgers. Got fries with that. Anyway, yeah. Okay, that brings this episode to a close. Thanks for joining us. Look out for more podcasts of Lights, Camera,
Conversation.